Illegal immigration refers to the migration of people into a country in violation of the immigration laws of that country, or the continued residence without the legal right to live in that country. Illegal immigration tends to be financially upward, from poorer to richer countries. Illegal residence in another country creates the risk of detention, deportation, and/or other sanctions. Asylum seekers who are denied asylum may face impediment to expulsion if the home country refuses to receive the person or if new asylum evidence emerges after the decision. In some cases, these people are considered illegal aliens, and in others, they may receive a temporary residence permit. For example, with reference to the principle of non-refoulement in the International Refugee Convention, the European Court of Human Rights, referring to the European Convention on Human Rights, has shown in a number of indicative judgments that there are enforcement barriers to expulsion to certain countries, for example, due to the risk of torture. There are campaigns that discourage the use of the term illegal immigrant, generally based on the argument that the act of immigrating illegally does not make the people themselves illegal, but rather they are people who have immigrated illegally. Depending on jurisdiction, culture, or context, terms used instead of illegal immigrant can include irregular migrant, undocumented immigrant, undocumented person, unauthorized immigrant, and illegal alien. In some contexts, the term illegal immigrants is shortened, often pejoratively, to illegals. In the United States, a "Drop the I Word" campaign was launched in 2010 advocating for the use of such terms as undocumented immigrants or unauthorized immigrants when referring to the foreign nationals who reside in a country illegally. In Europe, the Platform for International Cooperation on Undocumented Migrants launched its International Words Matter campaign in 2014 to promote the use of the terms undocumented or irregular migrants instead of illegal. Irregular migration is a related term that is sometimes used, e.g., by the International Organization for Migration. However, because of the word migration, this term describes a somewhat wider concept which also includes illegal emigration. News associations that have discontinued or discourage: European Journalism Observatory, European Journalism Centre, Association of European Journalists, Australian Press Council, and Media, Entertainment and Arts Alliance. Related terms that describe actions are not similarly discouraged by these campaigns. For example, the Associated Press continues to use the term illegal immigration, whereby illegal describes the action rather than the person. On the other hand, the term undocumented has been cited by the New York Times as a term preferred by many immigrants and their advocates, but it has a flavor of euphemism and should be used with caution outside quotation. Newsweek questions the use of the phrase undocumented immigrants as a method of euphemistic framing, namely, a psychological technique that can influence the perception of social phenomena. Newsweek also suggests that persons who enter a country unlawfully cannot be entirely undocumented, as they just lack the certain specific documents for legal residency and employment, while any have driver's licenses, debit cards, library cards, and school identifications, which are useful documents in specific contexts but not nearly so much for immigration. For example, in the US, youths brought into the country illegally are granted access to public K-12 education and benefits, regardless of citizenship status. Therefore, the youths are not entirely undocumented, since they are in fact documented for educational purposes. Title 8 of the U.S. Code is the portion of United States law that contains legislation on citizenship, nationality, and immigration, defining the legal term alien as any person not a citizen or national of the United States. The terminology used in Title 8 includes illegal alien, illegal immigrant, undocumented person, and others. An analysis by PolitiFact, however, concluded that the term illegal alien occurs scarcely, often undefined or part of an introductory title or limited to apply to certain individuals convicted of felonies in the United States, while overstaying a visa is a civil violation handled by immigration court. Entering the U.S. without approval from an immigration officer is a crime. Specifically a misdemeanor on the first offense. Illegal re-entry after deportation is a felony offense. This is the distinction between the larger group referred to as unauthorized immigrants and the smaller subgroup referred to as criminal immigrants. Research on the economic effects of illegal immigration is scant, but existing studies suggest that the effects can be positive for the native population and for public coffers. One 2015 study shows that increasing deportation rates